Welcome back to Spilling the Tea or Espresso with Jesus. A recap of today's church sermon in under 5 minutes. Today, we are spilling the tea from Miami South Beach. I had the opportunity to go to VOUS Church this morning and hear Pastor Rich Wilkerson Jr. preach part 3 of a series he calls Faith Talks. Unfortunately, I had to leave early because I had to go to work, but what I heard was so good that we're doing this in 2 parts. So here's the question I walked away with. What do your words taste like? In Proverbs 18:23-21 says, "From the fruit of their mouths a person's stomach is filled, and the tongue has the power of life and death." In other words, you eat what you speak. And that made me think, I can't, I won't, I'm unable, I'm broke, I'm anxious. And that's just how I am. We say these things all the time, or we hear these things all the time. If you're eventually going to have to eat those words, what do they taste like? Are the words you're speaking over yourself sweet, or are they sour? Are they satisfying you, or slowly corrupting the way you see yourself, your circumstances, and even what you believe God can do? Jesus tells us in Luke 6:45 that the mouth speaks from the overflow of the heart. So eventually, what's living in here is going to come out of here. And there was something Pastor Rich said that really got me thinking. Your personality can become a pattern of what you've repeated. Think about that. How many things have we said about ourselves for so long that we've stopped even questioning it? We've stopped questioning whether it's actually even true. That's just how I am. But is it? Or is it simply something that you've been speaking over yourself for so many years? My own personal thoughts when I hear this phrase is, I hope that I am never too old to grow. Because there is a language to faith. In Hebrews 11:1 tells us, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So what does faith actually sound like? Pastor Rich gave 3 things, and I only got to hear the first one because I had to leave, but faith talks ahead. In 2 Corinthians 4:13, he says, I believe, therefore I have spoken. Look at the order. I believe, therefore I have spoken. Faith doesn't mean my words are magic. It doesn't mean I can just say whatever I want and somehow make it happen. Faith speaks because I believe in God. Sometimes faith starts talking before the evidence is there to back it up, before you can see the answer and before the circumstances change, before you know exactly how God's going to do it. But faith can say, I don't see it yet, but I trust in God. And maybe that's the challenge for us today. Listen to yourself. Really listen to the words you use about yourself, your future, your circumstances, maybe your marriage, and even your God. Because in Proverbs, it says we're eventually going to have to eat the fruit of the words we're speaking. And what are you feeding yourself? Sweet or sour? I had to leave church before Pastor Rich got to the other 2 things that faith sounds like. So I'm going to finish that sermon, and tomorrow we're going to come back here and we're going to do Faith Talks Part 2, which will be a first, because apparently this week we're spilling the tea with Jesus twice. Happy Sunday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.